This is the Caroma E22 Pro electric scooter, not to be confused by the beer Corona. And it's one of the most budget-friendly scooters I've tried so far, coming in at $199. And I can say there's well over $199 worth of fun to be had on this scooter. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to DIY Reid. My name is Reid, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the features of the Caroma E22 Pro electric scooter, as well as my thoughts and opinions on it. While it's priced at $299 on Caroma's website, it's been $199 on Amazon as far as I've seen. I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested in checking it out. Straight out of the box, this scooter is easy to assemble. In fact, it's easier than most to assemble, as it doesn't require any tools. Instead of the steering neck including handlebars, each handlebar slides into the steering neck and uses these little spring-loaded buttons that pop up and lock the handlebars in place. However, because they use these to secure the handlebars to the steering neck, there is a little play in the handlebars. But when I was out riding and testing it out, I forgot all about it and didn't even think about it until I got back to my garage and realized they are kind of, if you move them around, you can move them around. Let's go outside and take a close look at the scooter from top to bottom and front to back. So here on the right-hand side, well, first of all, we got the handlebars, or the grips for the handlebars, and they are a soft rubber material. You can kind of see the width is wider here versus up and down, so it's easier to keep your palms rested on there and a little bit more for a comfortable ride. And then on the left-hand side here of this right-hand side is you have a thumb throttle, like most scooters. And this one's made out of a little bit lighter rubber, or a softer rubber, which is really nice. It's not hard rubber that's gonna kind of rub on your thumb. I know, first world problem. And then you have the power button. So to get this thing on, you press and hold the power button, and then it turns it on. Now the display is flashing for whatever reason on the camera, but it's not actual in real life. I'll show you that kind of overlay. Maybe I can fix that on the camera. But then you have the clip here, and this clip, make sure it's on there, will clip onto that right there when you fold the scooter down. Moving on, you have the display here. It's hard to read, but it's got a mile per hour gauge and battery life. And then it also has, you can see right there, is what speed mode you're on. And then if you turn on the headlight, it'll have it up here saying that it's on. Obviously, you'll see it on the front. But then you have the control panel here, and you have cruise control, a plus and a minus for the speed modes. And then you have the light mode here. So just press it, turns it on. There you can kind of see the light on. And then the light is on. And then if you press and hold it, it will turn on the light that's on the scooter. And that's also flashing, but it's pulsing. It's more of a solid light when it's on. But that's kind of an added aesthetic. And then to get it back off, you will press and hold the headlight button, and just a real quick press to turn off the headlight. So then you got the cruise control, so you press that as you're going and it'll set your cruise control at the speed you're going. You get the plus and minus, and this will take you through the different speeds. As you can see on this, you went to yellow, and you press it up one more time, and it's on red. It's kind of hard to see, but this will take you through the different speeds. Keep in mind, when you first turn this on, it starts off the 6 mile per hour speed limit, so you'll want to go up in your different modes here. And then moving on, you have a little bell, not very, sometimes you can get it really loud, sometimes it's not. And then the rear, well, actually it's not a rear brake, it's a front brake, but you have the brake here. And then you want to adjust this, and to adjust this, you have a screw. Well, I think it's a screw. Allen, this looks like an Allen key, but you have an Allen key right here. You loosen that, and you can adjust this down a little bit. So it's up too high for me. Then you have the little push pins here on this one and that'll allow you, if you push it in, allow you to take this handlebar off if you need to for storage or transportation. Now moving down to the steering neck, as you can see here, you have the wires coming from all the controls over here down. So this one's a little bit different than most scooters, and it comes down on the exterior instead of the steering neck, but it's got this little protector right here, and it comes down and goes right through here. It's a little bit different than other scooters, but also keeps it out of the way, so it doesn't really matter. Then you have an adjustable steering neck here. I don't know if you can see here, but you have the different measurements here, so that way you can put it to whatever you want. And then you have an adjustable adjustment here where you can loosen this and then raise the steering neck up and down. It's really nice to have the measurements here, so that way when I ride it, I can put it up to wherever it needs to be. So like right now it's at 13 or something, a little over 13. But if my daughter rides it and needs it lower, we can memorize or write down where we need to put it for her. Maybe it's 2 or 3. We can quickly get that up to where it needs to be. So moving down, steering neck here, you have, this is the mechanism that will allow you to pull this down, and then the whole thing will fold down for storage or transportation. And then further down here you have, I think 8.5 or 9, I can't remember. The tires, these are airless tires, so you won't have to worry about flats or anything like that, but it does make for a little bit rougher ride. But that's usual for most of these scooters anyways. And then front brake here, which is different as well. Most scooters are front wheel driven and rear disc brake, but this one is front disc brake and then rear wheel driven. So as you can see here, we'll go down to the platform here. Well, actually, right before we get to the platform, you have the charging port here on the lower portion, which is kind of cool. Most of them want to put on the top steering neck here, so it's down low, so that way it doesn't take up all of your charging cord. It's a little bit different. Then you have a nice platform here to stand on, and this is a 7-inch width platform. And as you can see, it kind of looks like it's a little bit wider, maybe. It is wider than most of the other ones I've ridden on, and it's really nice. And then down here, you can see this light. This is that blue light that I had on earlier, and it'll flash when it's just sitting at stop. And then it'll be a solid color when I'm driving. And then when I'm braking, it flashes repeatedly. Moving on, we have, this is the clip for the clip, or the notch for the clip when you fold it, so that way you can hold it or pick it up. Then you have the rear fender here with a reflector, and it is rear wheel driven, so this is a solid right here with the motor. And on the back you have the brake light that actually works when you got the lights on. And one thing I did forget to mention, it does have a shock. It's a single shock. Let me show that to you. Bottom here, you do have a single shock, a little bit different than the Highboy S2. The Highboy S2 has a dual shock. This one's a single one, and it helps out with the rideability and comfortability of the ride, and does a pretty decent job. As far as the specs on the scooter is, it has a 350 watt motor that goes up to 630 watts peak. This allows you to speed up to 15.5 miles per hour. The 36 volt, 7.8 amp hour battery gives this scooter a battery juice up to 20 miles, and it takes about 5 hours to fully recharge. It has 3 speed modes with different max speed limits. The slowest is 6 miles per hour, and then the middle one is 10 miles per hour, and then the top speed one is 15.5. Here are my final thoughts on this electric scooter. I really like the wider 7-inch platform. It makes the scooter feel more stable and provides more room for your feet, especially people that have larger feet. I mean, I don't have large feet, but it was really comfortable for me to ride on. The capability of being able to adjust the height of the handlebars is nice, as this can help it be more comfortable for a shorter or a taller person. I know it seems like a minor first world problem. However, after long rides on other scooters with the hard plastic material on the throttle thumb, or at least on the throttle, my thumb can get a little bit sore from the constant vibration of the scooter and the road. I know it's a first world problem, not a huge deal, but the material on this scooter's throttle is much softer and easier on my thumb. I know, what a thing to complain about, right? Well, the top speed on this scooter is a little bit lower than some of the other 350 watt scooters at 15.5 miles per hour versus 19 or 20 miles per hour. It's still a pretty fast rate of speed, and when testing this out while my friend rode my other scooter with a top speed of 19 miles per hour, pretty much the whole ride, no matter where we went, we were pretty much close by each other anyways. That being said, it is something to take into consideration when you're purchasing this. If you found this video helpful, please leave me a like and feel free to ask any questions in the comment section down below. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing for more tech reviews, home automation, and home and automotive how-to videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.